Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hold on one second. Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? On this video, I'm going to do a reaction to Jeff Metcalf. He is the father of Austin Metcalf. He spoke to Nancy Grace, and he had a lot to say, so we're going to get into that. Yes, indeed. Let me see what we got here. Make sure you can hear me. Okay, cool. Hope everybody doing well tonight. We're still covering this case and everything involved. Yes, indeed. Um, yeah, so we're still covering it. So, if you don't know, like I said, the father of Austin Metcalf spoke to Nancy Grace, and he's still grieving, man. You're never gonna get over a loss that significant in any family. You're not gonna get over. Over time, you learn how to deal with a little bit. You learn how to deal with it, but you just never get over that. Parents, if you lose a parent, significant family member in your family, whether it's an auntie or whatever, grandmother, you just learn how to deal with it over time. They're forever connected to you. And I have a whole theory on um, being with certain, that we're souls and trapped and encapsulated inside of a body. I believe that these souls find each other in the next lifetime somehow. Sometime we find each other, and souls are connected, man. Like, if you have memories of a special loved one, their memory, um you could even go back in time in your mind and picture them. You went back in time and they're right there with you, but their soul went on. I believe reincarnation, so they've gone on again. But when somebody dies prematurely, that's a hard pill to swallow, especially if they didn't have any health issues. If they didn't have any health issues, they're not even in the prime of their life, whole life ahead of them, and they die like this. Yeah, man, it's hard to pill to swallow. It's enough for somebody to crash out. It's enough to. But with this case, people are still saying that, hey, Max, this was a case of self-defense. But I've already went over in the last live chat. We already went over the appeals process. We already went over what has to happen for him to have some type of action in the appeals for this stage of the appeals. And so yeah, we've already went over that. And if you feel like he got action in appeals, you feel like it was self-defense. If you feel like he was jumped in this situation, it's a lot badder than they portraying it. Well, then what you're saying is there was a whole cover up here because the police report didn't reflect that. The police report said what he said when they initially saw him. He said, "I told him not to touch me." It says that in the police report. It didn't say I told them not to touch me over there. It said I told him not to touch me, even despite that happening. He didn't have a bruise on him. Now, some people saying, "No, Max, he did have bruises on him. It was Photoshop." The parents have not yet said that. Even now, they could say it now if they want to. They didn't say it was Photoshop. They didn't say that. He wasn't in jail that long. He didn't have he had nothing significantly wrong with him, except for maybe going through that type of event. So I'm just being fair. I'm only going by what they have presented already. Um, I didn't see such video. If people said that such video exists, you guys may never even see that video again. If it did exist, you may never see it again, which means he ain't getting out unless there's something else that violated his constitutional rights to a fair trial. Um, I understand that people brought up the issue. We talked about this earlier, but I'm just doing like before we get into this interview, some people talking about, well, there was no black people in the jury. Well, that's gonna have to be worked out later in his appellate process. Um, yeah, that's gonna have to be worked out later if he do get relief for that. I don't know. They did show a replica of the knife he used. I'm not going to show it here, but they did. That he listen. They showed the replica of the knife he had. That's enough to kill anybody. That particular, it was sharp too, especially the knife he had. Yes, it's enough. Very effective too. It's enough. Why did he need to carry it? Shit, I don't know. Protection, I guess. I used to carry a knife. That's not a big deal to me. But the big deal is, was he justified in using lethal force? And another thing where people are getting a little misconstrued here, you have to look at the penal codes. For lethal force, did he check off the boxes? Did he check one of those boxes off? He didn't. Now, some people saying, like they said, they're hiding the evidence, Max. Y'all have to go find it then. You have to go find it. Now you might say to yourself, what if they never find it? He's not. I don't see how he's getting out. It might have to be an intervention from the universe for him to get out. Do I think he'll get out in 17 and a half years? The answer is no. Maybe 25. If he's lucky, maybe 26. So, but at the end of the day, he's still fortunate that he didn't get life. He still have light at the end of the tunnel. I believe, this is what I believe. I believe if you go out there, I mean, each situation is different. You know, each situation call for something else. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get into that a little later. But without further ado, hope everybody is well. Let's get into this interview.
Bone in his chest. There was no way he could survive, even though his twin brother tried and tried there in the rain under that tent to save Austin's life. On that body cam, you can hear the twin screaming, praying, screaming all at once, trying to save his brother's life. And somehow you're getting death threats. Explain.
I wish I had an explanation for it. I really don't understand. I mean, I understand people can be upset about the verdict and it didn't go the way they wanted to, but I mean, it was a fair trial and now they're claiming it's not. And I mean, I understand they're going to look for any avenue. They hope and pray that they could get an appeal. I understand it's due process. They're entitled to it. I really don't. I think the judge did a good job of keeping everything under control and in order, and all procedures were followed correctly. So, you know, they're entitled to an appeal. I honestly don't think it will be granted, but you know, that's the way the system works. And the system also works by being convicted of murder also.
Let me correct something real quick. Yes, he's entitled to appeal and it will be granted. I think he's talking about, will he be granted another trial? I think that's what he's talking about. But yeah, the appeal is going to be granted. He has a right for the appeal. Whether he's going to get some relief in the appeal, we don't know about that. But yeah, he's going to definitely get the appeal. But he's probably talking about, is he going to get some positive relief in the appeal?
So
that's important, Mr. Metcalf.
I'm sorry,
you stated convicted of murder. He was not convicted of manslaughter. He was not convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first-degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all-white jury. It was not. That is correct. A lie. There were Asian jurors. There were, I believe, this off the top of my head, 3 Hispanic jurors. There were jurors that were from Middle East descent.
Yes.
I mean, those are not white jurors. This
No,
jury
ma'am.
pool, and I'm referring to the petit jury, not the pool of 200 that you bring in to strike the jury. The petit jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates. In
Yes,
the
ma'am.
petit jury, there were Hispanics, Asians, and people of Middle Eastern descent. So why is it just so convenient for people to say it was an all-white jury, it wasn't fair? That is not true.
They need a narrative to spin. I mean, they're hanging on for dear life at the end of the rope, and they're running out of time, and they're running out of things to say, and they're desperate.
I was stunned. I don't know if you were, Mr. Metcalf, when the defense did not put the defendant on the stand, because in every self-defense case I have ever prosecuted or investigated, you really have to hear from the defendant. You have to hear their side. Nobody can. Self-defense is when you, the defendant, are in immediate fear of serious physical bodily harm or death. Immediate fear.
All right, let me just say this, like for what they're talking about, I like to give examples, so that's how how's everybody doing, by the way? I like to give examples so I could best understand the law. So let's say, for example, I'm walking down the street and someone tries to rob me. I could tell they have a gun. They might look away for a second, just a split second for me to take my gun out and unload on them. Okay. There's no camera. There is no let's just say there's no cameras around. But the police have to get there and analyze the crime scene. They're going to take me in for questioning. They're going to. But after everything is said and done, if I know I didn't do anything wrong, I should be fine in that scenario. But they're going to see that he had a weapon on him or whatever the case is. I'm going to give them my side of the story, and my side of the story is going to remain consistent. I was just simply walking down the street. Where were you going? I was headed to my car, and this person jumped out of nowhere. I don't know this person. He looked away for a slight second. I unloaded on him. That's it. Okay. If they had to go to trial, it's like I believe in this theory right here. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. If possible, if I could do it. I don't want to do it, but at the same time, I probably would testify. More than likely. If I know I didn't do nothing wrong, I probably would testify. And I remember it's very rare that like that type of situation go to trial. But if I had to, I would go to trial. I probably would testify, but it's his right if he didn't want to testify. You know, he exercised his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And like I said, he was probably thinking, well, they have the burden of proof, right? This situation, they probably wanted to hear from him, maybe, but I understand why he didn't want to testify. Because they could have, you are subject to cross-examination by the prosecutors, and they will be ready for you. So I get it. I get it.
That you're going to die. Who else can describe your immediate fear other than you? Nobody. That said, he chose to take the Fifth Amendment. He did not testify. We can only wonder why. But, well, I've definitely put the cart before the horse. Let's start at the beginning. I want to start with where you were and what happened the day that Austin was killed.
I can remember it clear as day. I was standing in this room right here in my living room, and the phone rang. It was Coach Jackson, and he said he received a report that Austin was stabbed at Kirkendall Stadium. It took me about 4 minutes to get there. I live very close to Kirkendall Stadium. I was able to get there when they were putting Austin on the gurney. And that's when I saw his face and saw him and saw the blood, and when I saw his face. I've seen death before, and I knew he was gone. And that image will probably never be gone out of my head. As soon as I was screaming at the EMTs, what hospital, what hospital, once I found that out, I just turned into what I call survival instinct mode. And I went into, okay, where's Hunter? I need to find Hunter. And so I went to Hunter. He was hysterical. I just tried to calm him down enough to where, we prayed together. I said, let's get in the car. I need to get you. Let's go to the hospital. We drove to the hospital. We're praying all along. I didn't really want to tell him what he already knew himself. When I saw the doctors walk in, I knew what they were fixing to say. And when they told us that Austin had passed away, Hunter just lost. I mean, we all lost it, but Hunter especially. And it took 5 people to hold him down. We had to get him sedated.
You hear that? They had to get him sedated. That was his twin. They were identical. You know what I'm saying? Because I was asking, were they identical or fraternal? They were identical. So a part of his soul went away. That's what happened. None of us would know what that means unless you're a twin. I don't know what it means, but all the twins I grew up with, especially the ones I couldn't tell apart, they were really, really close. And if you have any type of decency in you, any type of soul in you, you got to feel for that. But a lot of people, you got to feel for that. But the crazy thing is, this is revealed a lot, man. A lot of people don't even care, that he's going through this. Nobody. They're using the fact that he did another interview and the stuff he said there. And people are really hateful out here, guys. You got to really watch yourself out here. You got to really protect your peace. You got to really protect your peace. Just like, for example, let me just give you this. For this type of situation here, I don't read comments on my videos. I don't read comments. Like when this video is posted, you forget commenting with me if you're trying to get at me because I don't read it. I'm in a bubble because I got to protect my peace because it's very evil out here. So I'm a seasoned content creator, so I know how to do it. Just like sometimes, like having you'll come up, sometimes the comments or whatever, but I know how to protect my peace. I'll just like start blocking at that particular point. I know how to protect my peace after a while. You have to. It's a very, you have some very tormented souls out here. That's the only thing I can say. And I do think there's certain people that's trying to use this to rage and race bait. There's a concerted effort to divide people, not just divide quote unquote black and white, but also quote unquote divide people of color. Hey, I'm FBA. Hey, I'm this, I'm that. Doesn't make any sense. But the people that came up with that situation, did you know I could show you a picture of them hanging out with presidents? I could show you, but I'm not showing you. You can go let them lead you astray, blind leading the blind. It's your life to live, and I'm not trying to convince you, but they work for somebody. They work for somebody. And they're trying to divide people, have people stuck on stupid. But somehow it's not working, though. They trying to rage bait people. It's not working. It's working for some, but it's not working for everybody. Everybody know you don't bring a knife to a fist fight. Unless y'all could show me that video that he got jumped. He was getting his head stomped in. But wait, before I get back to the interview, there was something interesting happened in New York. You know how the fans were going crazy, jumping people with Spurs jerseys on until they jumped somebody that looked like me. This guy, he straight up, he took care of everybody that was touching him. And he got the best of everybody. I never seen somebody land so many punches. That guy was so nice with his hand. He landed every single punch. And then it was like some nerdy guy trying to kick him as he went by. He stopped, looked at him. He's on the ground now. Now that dude probably have a broken jaw, the way he hit him. You could tell the way his jaw, when he got out, his jaw stayed in one place. He broke his jaw. I must have the amount of times that I watched that guy's jaw is diabolical. Because I got such joy out of it. You keep your hands to yourself out here. This is the lesson for this case. Keep your hands to yourself. You never know what somebody's going to do. And also, you're going to act appropriately. If somebody's putting their hands on you, you put your hands back if you want to. Not pull out a banger. Because if you do, see, if we don't keep hammering this thing home, more kids going to lose their lives and more kids going to lose their lives to the system. But if that's what people want, some people don't care out here about people losing their lives to the system. Some people don't care. Some people don't care, man. But they like to sensationalize it as black and white. Let's continue.
And, just admitted for a little bit. And then we couldn't even see the body for hours because now it was a crime scene and they had to process the body. And so at that time, I mean, friends and families and students just started gathering at the hospital. And eventually, everyone heard the news. And from there is where I just started to understand what I needed to do, what needed to get done, find burial plots, arrange funeral arrangements. I mean, there was just a ton of things that had to be handled. And I was pretty much numb and I guess in shock, maybe. Realistically, I think it's when God carried me the most because I was able to speak to some reporters and get the story out. And even to this day, when I go back and watch those interviews, I really don't remember a whole lot what I was saying. It's been very hard for everyone, but I want to point out something that some people I think are overlooking a lot is the minors that were there who saw it and who had to testify. And every one of those children are receiving counseling. And I can't think. First, I want to say thank you to the parents for allowing your child to testify and do the right thing. Because I know, with me being swatted 6 times, my ex-wife Megan being swatted a few times, they were concerned. They were concerned for their own safety and for their kids' safety, which is totally understandable. But being able to, and this is why I think, I'm not for sure, but I think this is probably one of the reasons why the trial wasn't televised, because there were so many minors that were involved that they don't need to be. They had to relive this day again, which just tears me apart for them. And no one says, yes, I'm a victim, but realistically, all these other kids who saw this and have to live with it for the rest of their life, they're victims too. And the ripple effect through his friends, through our family, it affects everyone, not just my family and the Anthony family. And it's been really hard, especially being under the gag order for so long, while I just had to sit by and watch everyone trash my son and my family and spread lies and mistruths. And to this day, there's a certain part of people in the society that they can't accept the verdict. They can't accept the truth that was presented at trial.
That's one thing that came through my mind. Sometimes people can't accept the verdict. They just can't. And I keep saying, I know people said they saw this video, but I need to see it. So somebody, if you're out there, let's see it. Let's see the video. Let's see it. Let's see it. Now, some people have seen the video already. Mel, I met him at the Diddy trial. He saw the video in court, but he didn't see what other people said they were seeing. So let me just say this again. If there's no video exists, right? Let's just say hypothetically speaking, you guys are lying, right? It's not going to affect anything at this point. He's not going to, more than likely, if I'm a betting man, if I had to bet on this on Cauchy, I could bet $1,000 on this that he's not getting no relief. I could bet. Hopefully, maybe they might have something on there where you could. I bet you he won't, because I just know how Texas is. He's not. He's not. He might get relief. He might. But I will bet on it that he probably won't. And it happens every day. You gotta understand something. It happens every day. People make bad decisions every single day, and they got to go do time for it every single day. But I think there's a concerted effort to try to turn this into a race case. And I had said before the case had started, this is not the case you get upset about. This is not the one. You know what I'm saying? That you should get too upset about, but I can't control people's emotions. But if there's not such a video out there and you guys are lying, then you guys are just talking. If there ain't no video exists, y'all just talking. But if there's one exists, then what you gonna do about it? Because if you don't get it, you know. Now what would I be looking for in a video? Him getting his head stomped in. Then maybe I'll think, and maybe I'll say, okay, he got his head stomped in. Okay, maybe. Even though I damn near almost got my head stomped in. Everybody lived afterwards. But I do realize we come from a tough generation. I come from a tough one. You know what I'm saying? I come from a tough one where we called each other retarded. I come from that type of generation. You know what I'm saying? We had a hard upbringing, a lot of us, but it was a good one too, though. It was a good one too. But I come from a generation where we got belt to ass. Okay, that kind of generation. And some people will say, "Well, that's what they say that affects the kids and stuff like that." Okay, all right, cool. But how you gonna handle these kids right here that can't put up their hands no more? How you gonna fix that? Huh? How are you gonna fix that? It's like I don't know how you're gonna fix it. But yeah, probably some people can't handle the truth. But the thing is, if you think it's a video out there, I'm not gonna say you lying, but let's see it. That's all I'm saying. Because if you guys are lying, then yeah, it's not a big deal at this point. It's not even worth talking about anymore. The back fact, I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore. That there's another video out there that will exonerate. I'm not talking about it anymore. Because if it doesn't resurface, then it's not really y'all could do. If it's not gonna resurface. So everything's not a conspiracy, man. Maybe the fact of the matter is, he shouldn't have done it. You got to say it like that too. You got to leave that on the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You might as well just And then the crazy part about it is his parents. They didn't cause this. He was the one took one to school. I mean, actually, I don't know their family dynamic. I don't know if they told him to, but I don't think so. It could have been a situation that it happens all the time where somebody was selling wolf tickets and then somebody took him up on the wolf tickets. Oh, you want me to come over there? I'm coming over there then. Now he's seeing if your wolf tickets are really about something. Then somebody took the punk way out. That's what I think happened here. He was selling some wolf tickets. And then somebody took him up on it. And he took the punk way out, unfortunately. If y'all don't produce that video. If y'all don't produce that video, he turned the punk way out. Now, like I said, what I want to see on the video, I want to see him getting pummeled. That's what I want to see. I want to see him damn near unconscious on the ground. That's the generation I came from. We just fought. I'm sorry. I didn't come from this new generation where y'all sitting up there wearing purses and pocketbooks. The girls don't even got nothing to themselves no more. And y'all switching. How the hell, when did that start? Y'all start switching. When did that start? Wearing purses, now for the people that are like that, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about the gay community. I'm talking about the ones that are not, and they sitting up there thinking it's okay to wear purses and pocketbooks. I kid you not. About a week ago, this guy was walking with his girlfriend, right? He had a blouse on and a pearl necklace. I kid you not. I said, maybe I entered a portal or something. Like maybe I went to sleep and woke up in another timeline or something. I don't know. It's crazy. So, like I said, I didn't come from this generation with the purses and pocketbooks. I didn't. So, it is what it is. Let's continue.
Those were the facts. They weren't opinions. They weren't some made up crap. It was presented, and the jury made a decision based on the evidence.
I know B Lady, you'll find that one funny.
But you're right. For a defendant not to testify in a self-defense case, it raised huge questions just for me. I mean, if I was accused of something, yes, I would want to get up there and sing my song and tell him, this is exactly what happened. This is what I was thinking, and this is what I did.
Yeah, I would do that too if I wasn't in the wrong. Now, if this kid know that he was in the wrong, he making a bad mistake getting on that stand now. I'm just telling y'all this. You better exercise your right to remain silent. Because let me say, anybody remember the Alec Murdoch case? Liz, are you here? Your boy Alec. That's how we call him, Alec. Alec got destroyed on that stand, and he's a seasoned attorney. Y'all hear me? He's a seasoned attorney, and he got destroyed on the stand. So what you think gonna happen to this kid? He got destroyed. Okay? Alec. But he's supposed to be getting another trial. He's supposed to be getting another trial, man. You remember that, Brian? Alec. What's up? What's up, Jones? So yeah, I don't recommend him talking because he might have said, "Man, listen, wait, it's not his lawyers. He'll talk to his lawyers first, but y'all know he's subject for cross examination. Y'all know that, and Alec was too. Alec was doing good before the prosecutors got at him. He was doing all right. He had some fake crying and all the other stuff he was doing. Yo, let me tell you something real quick about Alec, real quick. They showed the police footage, the camera footage, right when he found his wife dead, and they took him in the car to question him. He couldn't cry. His eyes, Ryan, he couldn't cry. His eyes wasn't even red, and he was acting like he was crying. Then I made a joke saying he's probably crying internally. The tears are within right now. He's crying internally because I don't see no tears. His eyes are white. His that white part of his eyes are white. Listen, guys, if I lost love and I'm having a nasty cry, okay? When your nose gets stuffed up, cry. Your eyes get swollen. These people like, and eyes are just normal. It's crazy. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing did her dissertation on the effeminate development of the black boys turned soft in ISIS papers. Yeah, I read the ISIS papers. Yeah, it's completed now. They worked on them, and it's now completed. It's now completed. But the only thing is though, it didn't affect everybody. It didn't affect everybody. But I do see people, wearing, then now one guys, they had made it popular to wear skirts, you know. So it's just crazy.
For him not to even try to tell his side of the story tells me, or lets me form my own opinion about.
Well, what
why.
it tells me, Mr. Metcalf, is that he could not survive cross-examination on his story, that his
No.
lawyers thought it would be too dangerous and too damaging to put him on the stand. That is why defendants typically don't take the stand, because they cannot
Yeah, and I
survive
have-
cross-examination, or their story will unravel. For instance, if you did not intend to do a crime, why did you take a knife? And the knife has been greatly belittled in the press. The knife has been referred to as, hey, it's not even a deadly weapon. It's 1 inch. No, it's not. It's just a little shorter than the K-bar knife used in the Brian Kohberger slaughter. Look, I want to see it again, please. That is a deadly weapon. I mean, the law is that whatever causes a crime, whatever causes a murder, is a deadly weapon. It can be a car, it can be fists, it can be feet, it can be anything, a baseball bat, that results in a death. That is a deadly weapon. So I don't know why people are trying to minimize this. I think I know why, Mr. Metcalf, because the fact that you take, as you and I have discussed many times, obviously off air, my
Yes, ma'am.
son played soccer and my son did track, basketball, you name it. He's never taken a knife to a track meet. Why did Karmelo Anthony take a knife to a track meet?
That question only he can answer, and I guess we'll never know. I need to give credit where credit's due. Bill Rosinski, the ADA, Greg Willis, the DA, and the entire team of attorneys and investigators. They did an outstanding job, and they worked, I know for a fact, 7 days a week, 2 months before the trial. They didn't have a day off. They were prepared. They did their homework, and be honest, Bill destroyed even their witness. And after seeing the performance that Bill had done with the previous witnesses, I'm 100% sure that had a lot to do with them saying, we cannot put you up on the stand. This prosecutor will destroy you.
Summertime expenses stacking up fast. For many, the only option is swiping that credit card.
All of them.
We called about 17 eyewitnesses, and it was a very diverse group of young men and women that came into court to testify. And the jury that saw that quickly realized this case was never about race. This case was about murder, plain and simple.
That's from our friends at CBS 11 and Fox. First, you were hearing Mrs. Anthony speaking, Karmelo Anthony's mother. She's sitting there along with Mr. Anthony. And you know what, Mr. Metcalf? I get it. Let me see Mr. Metcalf, please. Mr. Metcalf, I swear to you, if the angel Gabriel came down from heaven and told me to my face that my son or my daughter, my twins, had committed murder, I would say, you are a liar. You're lying. I wouldn't believe it because I don't want to believe it. So I understand where the parents are coming from. I get it. She says, but that is actually a phrase, an argument that I would argue in closing arguments until I was blue in the face. Do you believe that every one of the state's witnesses are lying? All of them are lying, and he is the only one telling the truth? Does that make sense to you? No, because it's not true. But that is what the Anthony family, they truly believe, that all the witnesses lied. You were there, you were in court, gavel to gavel. What did the witnesses tell the jury under oath?
Well, when she talks about discrepancies, there were some as far as the total exact recall of every detail, but every single witness said he was the aggressor. He was asked to leave multiple times. One witness even testified, a couple of witnesses testified they even heard Austin tell him, "Hey, I don't want to fight you, man, at a track meet." And I understand because grief has many different stages, and denial is one of those stages. And I think that's where they're living in right now. I think it would be hard to accept the fact that your son is going to prison. I mean, I understand it, but you also have to understand and show they haven't shown any accountability or remorse, and that's what I have an issue with. It's always playing the victim on their side, which the true victim in this whole case is my son Austin. He's the one who was stabbed to death in the heart with a knife by your son. So I'm sorry you're in denial, but the facts have come out. You're going to have to live with those facts, and you're going to have to live with the fact that your son is a convicted felon murderer who is sentenced to a time in prison. And that is the cold, hard truth. Now, you can hang your hat on an appeal, and I understand if I'm a parent, I would do everything possible also to try to save my son. I understand from a parental point of view. But my parental point of view is if my son did this, I would hold him accountable. I would make him apologize. I would be profusely telling the other family, I am so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? I can't believe this happened. And that was not the reaction. It was from day one. Family members from this family, Kevin Hayes posted a long list of just blatant lies, saying he was jumped, his phone was broken, there was a
All right. So, as far as accountability is concerned, you know what's interesting? You know what my mother said? She said, if you went out there and did that today, she said, you know what I told you when you were younger? She said, not that I don't care. She said, but you made your bed, you got to lay in it. She said, we, me and you will have to talk on the phone, you know, but you know what to do when you go out here. She said, God gave you a brain and gave you a brain. She said, you got to use it more so when you older. You really got to use it. You think you're getting bullied when you were a kid. You really got to use it when you older because people out here have the demons in them. And you don't want nobody to trick you out of your freedom. So you really got to be cognizant out here now. You really have to be. And it's more and more hateful out here in this world today. It's more hateful now than ever. And it happened after 2020. People became more hateful. I don't know if it's because of that thing they got in 2020. I don't know. They're more hateful, and you just got to be careful out here. Yeah, there's no really remorse. Like my bad. Like we sorry this happened or nothing. They just told them to leave the press conference. That was a mistake. However, they can do whatever they want to do. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, for people to say that there was something else going on, that means they had to believe that everybody testified was lying. That they have to believe that. Because nobody testified and said he was jumped. In fact, in the police report, you have to believe that the police report was manipulated. Because in the police report, he didn't say they were jumping on him. He said, I told him not to touch me. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to say that, He said 2020 was a test run. 2018 was the shift. Something happened because people are not the same, Not everybody I know, but there's some people I know. It's like they became different human beings. There's a lot of cold activity going on out here. Like, for example, what happened in New York when somebody destroyed that taxi cab. That was his only source of income, and they destroyed it. And you should have saw how they were looking, knowing that they destroyed his car. It was like they were robots. In that case, that's justified for him to stab everybody. I would literally, for that guy, for them people standing around filming and laughing at him, and he can't make no more money, for me, that's justified for him to start stabbing. That's justified. And I would practice. Well, what I would do is, even though that's not good, you're not supposed to do that. But I would say, in that case, jury nullification. I would nullify him and find him not guilty. For the way those people were standing around his cab and they destroyed his cab. Why would you do that? Just because the Knicks won, it gives you the right to destroy. Let them have did that to mine. Y'all would never hear from me again. Y'all would never hear. I would pick one of them out of the crowd and I would do them dirty. You'll never hear from me again because I probably would have deleted the person. Because I would have snapped. That's what would have happened. I would have snapped. That's why, guess what? I wouldn't put myself in that situation because I like driving to New York. But you think I'm going to drive to New York after the next one? No, because now I'm putting myself in harm's way. So I had to avoid that situation. The best thing to do in life is to avoid situations before it happens. But he's gonna learn the hard way though, because he gotta spend a significant amount of time behind bars. He potentially is not gonna be with another woman for 25 to 30 years. Put that in perspective. He's gonna be potentially in jail for 5 to 6 more World Cups. Okay? We're in a World Cup right now. Don't count this one. Count the next 6 or 7. Then he might get out by the 7th World Cup. And that comes every 4 years. I mean, let's say the 6 World Cups. They come every 4 years. Okay? When he gets out, potentially, because he's not getting out in 17, he probably got in 25. For the babies that are not born yet, they're still cooking right now. For the babies that haven't been born yet, they're still in the oven. They'll be 25 years old, 20 going on 26 when he gets out. They'll be working and tax-paying citizens by then. And they ain't even been birthed yet. Crazy, right? To think about it. Yeah, they ain't show no remorse, dog. Even the family, they ain't even say, my bad, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, my bad, that this happened. See, I come from the generation, you made your bed, you're going to lay in it. My mother said it. You made your bed, you got to lay in it. I didn't tell you to do that. Yeah, I can't. I have health issues. I can't come back and forth to trial. The only thing I could do is talk to you on the phone. That's it. I said, you ain't got to worry about that. Ain't nobody tricking me out of my freedom. Got to stay out of situations, man. But people out here are very, very hateful. It was very hateful what they did to that man's car. Very hateful. But guess what? The police are looking for him. And they're going to pay for it. And guess what? Guess what? If they play any type of games, their faces, they're gonna find them. They definitely gonna find it. Their face is clear as day on who did it. It's crazy. No remorse this kid showed. Because people gonna say, well, Max, because it was self-defense. All right, it was self-defense, but you ain't got no video to prove it. That it was self-defense.
A big fight. And I hate to try to paint the other side like they're trying to lie, but the truth is they all came out with a bunch of lies. Oh, it wasn't a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. Well, no, that's been debunked. My boys were actually under the tent.
Oh, that's another thing. They said that he didn't have a knife. Guys, he didn't have a knife. It was a sharpener for his cleats. No, he had a knife. He had a knife. I saw it. He had a knife. He had a nice one too. It was small, but it was enough to take somebody out of here. So why y'all lying? Why y'all say he had sharpeners for his cleats? All right, look. I just had an epiphany. Hold on. It's coming to me. Hold on. Let me get with the force for a second. Got my eyes closed. I'm listening to the force. I got it. I got it. I got it now. It just came to me just now, Ryan. I got it. There was a guy that claimed that he saw the original video. He also said that Metcalf had a sharpener for his cleats. Motherfucker, you lying. You lying about everything. If you can lie about something about a sharpener for your cleats, you lying about everything else. You lying. There ain't no video. Y'all lying. That's it. You're lying. Why are you saying it's a sharpener for your cleats? He didn't have no sharpener for his cleats. It was a knife. They showed it. They showed the replica of it. I just can't show it right now. So why would you say he had a sharpener for your cleats? Now, my question is, where did you get that from, sir? That he had a sharpener for his cleats? Huh? Where did you get it from? And then you the one said, yeah, but there is a video. It is. He getting jumped. He getting jumped. There's a video. Eyes blinking and shit. You lying. You're lying. You're lying. I ain't never seen somebody blink so much telling a story. You're lying. Okay? I ain't gonna never bring that up no more about no damn video. I'm not bringing it up no more. 'Cause guess what? I just had another epiphany. Ain't no way on this fucking planet they gonna let you see evidence before this shit hit trial. Y'all all lying. Period. I don't care what y'all think. Y'all lying. Okay? Y'all lying. And if you're not lying, let me see the video. Yeah, I'm not entertaining that no more. It just came to me just now. It just came to me. If you know why I say it just came to me? If you lie about something as small as a sharpener for cleats, then you lying about everything else. Now my question is, why are y'all lying? Probably just for clicks. Keep the shit going. That's why y'all doing it. Yeah, y'all lying. And well, show me the video then. So that's it. That's all I got to say about it, Ryan. I'm not entertaining that no more. I am not entertaining no more. I am not entertaining that no more. If they entertain it here, just block them, y'all. Block them. Y'all are free to block them. Okay? You're free to block them. We're not having that in here no more. Because it just hit me. It's like the spirit hit me, Max. Max, they lying. And why are they lying? Because people have a right to lie just like you have a right to tell the truth. No, Carmelo didn't say he got jumped though, cutie. He didn't say that. He said, I told this dude not to touch me. I told him not to touch me. He didn't say he said I didn't tell them not to touch me. He said I told him not to touch me. He didn't have a mark on his face. You know what else they lied about? Oh, well, he didn't have a mark on his face because it's Photoshop. I also this is another thing that I did. I'm not watching no more coverage on this from vloggers. I'm not. Because you guess what? The same ones lied at the Diddy trial. Don't act like I wasn't there. Don't act like I wasn't at the Diddy trial. And I saw y'all and y'all ignore me. Y'all know I was at the Diddy trial. I sure was. I was at the Diddy trial. And guess what I thought when I was at the Diddy trial? I thought that I was an extra in a movie. That's the way I felt. Okay? I felt like an extra in a movie. Okay? I felt like I was an extra in a movie. I said, why am I here? It's like, you know what else I felt? I'm walking through the crowd and it's like nobody see me. There's some weird shit out there. But no, I mean, people saw me, but I felt like everybody had an assignment but me. That's where I felt. Everybody knew the assignment. Yeah, man. Everybody knew the assignment but me. Lying. And I'm sitting up there And I know about the legal system. I'm sitting there just watching it. Guys, there was some other people that was normal too that was there. You know, we were saying in trial, what the fuck did he do for a Rico? What did he do? Is this a Rico or is this a Freako? And then his somebody said it, but then the guy came up and Charlucci made T-shirts. He said this ain't a Rico, it's a Freako isn't a Rico. He having a Freako. The domestic stuff, yes, he did do, but that should have been a state case. But we were talking about on a federal level, what did he do? Craziness, man. So if you can lie about something as small as, oh, though he had sharpeners for his cleats. That's what he had. That was a sharpener for his cleats. No, it was a knife. They showed it. It was a knife. So why would you lie? Where did you get that information? Somebody else told you? Man, go ahead, yo. These are do y'all realize I just had another freaking epiphany? I just had another one. Do you realize there is a video going around on social media that people can't even fucking read? Right? It's going around. They did a study. Some people could read, but people having a hard time. These are the people I'm arguing with that can't read. Yeah, let me fall back. Let me fall back and just do me over here. Let me fall back and just do me. I am not arguing no more. I am not going back and forth no more over this. Okay? Because if I write down supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on a piece of paper, you can't fucking read it. Okay? So that's the bottom line. Okay? I know some people getting chuckles over that. That's kind of funny. But anyway, it might be a bad joke. I don't know. Or it might be, I had to work on my delivery. Let's continue. A damn sharpener for your cleats. I used to play football and run track. I never had a sharpener for my cleats. If my cleats get dull, I just go buy some more. I ain't never had no sharpener for my cleats. Maybe I had some cheap ass cleats. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe I did. Sharpener for your cleats. Never heard no shit like that. A sharpener for your cleats. I know that's a thing, but I never had it. Never had it. I just got more cleats, man. All right, let's continue.
When Karmelo walked under the tent, the boys didn't walk up on him. We were already there. And as far as the video goes, yes, I've seen the enhanced video. The whole encounter between him and Austin lasted about 12 seconds. And you could see a push to the shoulder. Doesn't even make him take 3 steps back. It's a push. And then there's an immediate stab immediately. And I mean,
well, isn't it true, Mr. Metcalf, that witnesses stated, and I want to circle back to what we learned at trial, not what was said before or after, but what evidence the jury heard. Isn't it true? Witnesses stated that Karmelo Anthony said, touch me and you'll see what happens. That does not sound like self-defense. That sounds like provoking. By the way, that video we're showing you is from our friends at NBC. Didn't that come out in court, or do I have it wrong?
Yes, it did come out in court, and yes, he did say that.
All right, stop right there. So when he went to the cops and he said, yes, I did it. It's not alleged. I did it. It's not so. I did it in self-defense. He may not knew what it was. He ain't know what self-defense was. But the problem is that's not a defendable thing in court, that you didn't know the law. You can't defend that. He thought what he might have thought what he was doing was self-defense because he touched me, but they don't give you the right to use lethal force, though. You have to check certain boxes off to meet for you to be in the clear for justifying using lethal force. Okay, it has to be justified some way. Was Metcalf, did he have a gun in his hand? Did he have some type of blunt object in his hand? Was he swinging a golf club at you? Was he choking you out? Was he SAing you, or was he in something? You got to give us something. But no, that didn't happen. He touched me. That's what happened. He touched me and I got him. It was self-defense. I told him not to touch me. That's what happened, guys. I figured it out. It finally came to me. Cause I'm like, damn, what am I missing? What am I missing, man? Because I don't watch so many trials over the years. What am I missing? I'm not missing nothing. They trying to pull a banana in the tailpipe. That's what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to pull a Jedi mind trick, and y'all don't even have a working understanding of the Force to even try to be Yoda. Okay? To pull some Jedi mind tricks. Okay? You can't be Yoda. Yoda spent many years in the Dagobah system. You cannot be Yoda. Y'all think y'all Yoda. Okay? I know he was in Kashyyyk. That's where he spent a lot of time at. But he's from the Dagobah system. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars, by the way. But I know people like, what the fuck are you talking about? I know I'm a Star Wars. It just came out, right? I'm just saying, you trying to pull a Jedi mind trick on me. Okay? But when I found out people lied, just something simple as he had sharpness for his cleats when it was a whole ass knife. Yeah, they sitting up here can't read, man. They one of them people trying to read them cards. You know what I'm saying? They the same people, okay, go right in the damn store and sit down thinking they bougie and say, I want some salmon. They the same people. Let's continue. Want some salmon. Want some salmon. You actually you say the L. Okay? We want some salmon. Let me look at that fillet McNine. Let me continue, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at that Bologna sandwich. Let's continue. I'm on one, guys. I'm on one.
There was also some other things, some more colorful language that he used, but I'm not gonna use that language on air. But there was other provocative gestures and words that were also used that was just basically antagonizing.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Mr. Metcalf.
Yes.
Under the law, we look at when you have a self-defense case, the first thing you do is say who's the aggressor. In this case, Karmelo Anthony, now convicted of murder by a jury that is not all white, goes over to your son's tent. They're all seated. Most of them are seated under the tent. It's drizzling. I've been to a million games, a million track meets, soccer, football, you name it. It rains and everybody just sits there. It's no big deal. It's kind of expected. You're going to get rained out. You're going to be in the rain. But Karmelo Anthony goes under your son's team tent. Nobody does that. You think Wemby of the Spurs, Wembanyama is going to go sit on the Knicks bench? No, you don't do that. Nobody does that. So why would he go unprovoked, had never met your son? That was established too. Goes under your son's team tent with a knife. That makes him the aggressor under the law. He was repeatedly asked to leave. He says, touch me and find out what happens, with his hand in his pack on the knife. Your son goes like that. He takes out a knife and stabs him in the heart. That is what happened, according to all the witnesses. Do I have it right, Jeff?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what happened.
All right. So if that's exactly what happened, this is not a self-defense case. And let me tell you guys what happened. There's a law. So what they did was, if he met certain parameters, they don't have to entertain self-defense. They can go straight to the murder. They don't have to even have a conversation about self-defense if they believe that he was the aggressor. Self-defense is off the table. So that means in their minds, the manslaughter was off the table too. The jury didn't even consider manslaughter, even though it was there for them. What the jury thought was, they believe the testimony that he had his hand in his bag and said, "Come touch me and see what happened." That's first degree murder. It don't take much for be first degree. It don't take much. Take a few seconds of thought. So that's the same thing I keep telling you guys with Chud the Builder when he was going around saying, "Oh, you chimping out? Why you chimping out?" And Ninja, you chimping out, and all that. He's baiting people. That's illegal. And when a person come up to him, he said, "Yes, you come up a little closer. I got some hot ones for you," and then show them the gun. That's illegal, and especially in the state of Tennessee, that's illegal. That's what he didn't realize. So when he shot that guy, he thought it was self-defense. Guess what? It's not self-defense. It is attempted murder. See, he thought it was self-defense because the guy attacked him. No, they went and saw the video that he was making. They confiscated the video. They saw that he called the dude. He said he's chimping out and stuff. He was doing this thing with the guy, right? And the guy attacked him. When the guy attacked him and he shot, it's attempted murder now. The reason why they're charging him with attempted murder because self-defense is off the table because he was the aggressor. And guess what? When people think, well, what do you mean the aggressor? Aggressor, you can be the aggressor with your words. It don't have to be physical. When somebody say you're the aggressor, it don't have to be physical. You can be the aggressor with your words. I think that's what people are missing here. You could be, so Chud was the aggressor. And then he told the guy, he said, "I got some hot ones for you." That guy didn't care about them hot ones. He was trying to disable him. You know what I'm saying? And Chud shot. So Chud's still sitting up in there acting, looking stupid. So Chud, if he take this to trial, because he probably will, if he do, he making a mistake. He's going to be found guilty on first degree murder. I covered a case in Tennessee. They don't give a damn what color you are until they're going to find you guilty one way or the other. They'll find your ass guilty. Okay? You got some, especially those evangelicals. They believe in they believe in certain stuff. So he in the wrong spot. I can just tell him this. He not coming out of jail. Chud not either, because he thought it was self-defense. And see, now he's getting educated on self-defense. Well, the guy hit me first. Okay, but who was the aggressor first? He was the aggressor. He hit me. No, you were. You were calling him all these racial epithets. That's aggression. And the way you were saying it, "Come look at my gun." That's aggression. See, he's the aggressor. He didn't know that. He thinking aggression has to be physical. Boy, people better learn this. Y'all better learn it. Y'all better learn it, or your kid's going to jail. And I'm gonna be sitting up here talking about your kids, so you better stop. You know how I know I'll be sitting up here talking about your kids? Because when I first started doing this, Karmelo Anthony was 6 years old, maybe 5, when I started doing this. So don't let me be talking about your kids in the future, man. Y'all better teach them. Y'all better teach them, because I don't mind talking about a good case now. I'll talk about a good case until I can't talk about it no more now. We all can learn something from this case. Y'all didn't know that, did you? That just to be the aggressor don't have to be physical. It could be verbiage. Come over here if you want to, Ryan. I got these hot ones for you. I'm the aggressor. I got these hot ones. It's just sitting there popping it to you. You see what I'm saying? Just sitting up there selling wolf tickets. It's crazy.
I mean, in Texas, there are elements you have to meet for self-defense.
Stop. There are elements that you have to meet for self-defense. That is correct. In Texas, we're not talking about Florida. We're talking about Louisiana. We're not talking about nowhere else. Texas.
But if provocation is involved, and also a lot of people don't understand the law in Texas. Yes, we have a castle doctrine. Yes, we have a stand your ground doctrine. Neither of those applied in this situation if you know the law.
Stop. You know why it doesn't apply? Because he was the aggressor. If he said, "Come over here if you want to. Come over here and touch me if you want to," Because his parents, but he wasn't the aggressor. They were just talking. No, he was popping it. He was the aggressor. That's how it works there. The castle doctrine and stand your ground is off the table. You don't believe me? Go look at Chud the Builder's case. Stand the ground is off the table for him. He's getting charged with attempted murder in the first degree. Okay. He thought he knew the law. Remember, he kept saying, "Well, I'm exercising my constitutional rights to freedom of speech." Okay. All right. But you baiting people though. As soon as you say you got some mace for him, as soon as you say that, all bets are off the table. As soon as you say I got some mace for you or I got some hot ones for you. Because now if that person touch you and you got to use them hot ones on them, that's attempted murder. Just like that. So you got to know the law. But you don't have to know the law. Your kids don't have to know the law. There are beautiful, fine institutions around the country that would love to have them. That will be gladly to give them 3 hots and a cot. So in return for their sweat equity. So you ain't got to listen to me. Keep listening to the good doctor and all those people. Keep listening to them. They gonna lead you up the river with no paddle. Keep listening to them, man. Just go ahead and read the law. Oh, damn, Max, so it was off the table just because he said that little thing? Yeah. Yep. Just because he said that little thing. And it protects us, don't it? Don't it protect us? Well, how does it not protect us, Max? Don't it protects people of color? Yes. Because you had a lot of people back in the day sitting up there calling you the N-word, didn't they? All types of N-words. Boy, come over here, boy, before I hang you. They used to say that back in the day. Until they changed the law, you don't see them saying it no more, do you? Because they're the aggressors. Did you know they're smart too because they give you the green light to do something to them, and you ain't gonna get in trouble. Especially if you can prove that they're the aggressors first. If you can prove it, and aggression, they realize the aggressors don't even have to be physical; it could be mental. I mean, verbal. So a lot of people know the law. That's why you don't see a lot of that happening no more. Random people going around calling you all type of N words and stuff. They changed the law. There's a reason for it. But some people, the young people, they don't realize it why they changed the law because that's aggression. You're baiting the person. That person might do something to you, and the law protects that person if that person did something to you because you were the aggressor first. You get it? That's why. That's why you don't see a lot of people doing it no more. Man, that's a nice one though, right? Yeah, I like that. So if somebody starts want to go viral again, they sitting up here calling you all types of N words or the crackers or whatever they want to say, or whatever racial epithet they want to use, right? Let's say if you just black out, you having a bad day, and you go to attack them, and they spray you with mace. Call the police. They're going to jail. They assaulted you. Yeah, but they're gonna say, "Well, he assaulted me first." Nah, not if they had some video of you sitting there picking with them first. They're not going to jail. You are. That's sweet, man. That's a sweet law, man. We just got to memorize that one. Memorize that law for your kids. Straight up and down. Memorize that law. Now, somebody mentioned like unfortunately, the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. That was caught on video. He did. He mentioned it. Well, I tried to flee. He did try to flee, but that dude, he met the right dude that night, and I feel sorry because the dude ain't no longer here, and I believe that dude had something wrong with him. Boy, he got up on Kyle. Didn't he get up on him fast? He got up on him fast. Kyle got nervous. He don't even know what the hell to do and shot the guy. It's crazy. Yeah, but you know the law, like you said, if you know the law, that stuff off the table. We'll talk about it a little later on why he went in that tent. Because you gotta say this shit. Why did he go in the tent? That's not his school. Well, maybe somebody he knew that was over there. I get it. Apparently, him and that dude wasn't friends. They were just no, they just knew each other. You don't say they were friends because he ain't help him out in court because he knew he blacked out. That's why. Craziness.
We have a lot of armchair attorneys out in Facebook that think they know everything, which cracks me up. But when you look at the law itself and apply the 5 elements of self-defense in Texas, he didn't meet those. And the jury was showed the evidence.
I had just said that earlier. I said he had to check off certain boxes. Or I just say it differently. I said, didn't I say he had to check off certain boxes before he said it was self-defense? He just said that. I've already said it. I know it by heart. You do got to check off certain boxes. Virginia, you got to check off certain boxes. You got to check off certain boxes before you take somebody out of here, man.
And they determined that he was guilty. I guess there's not much more I can say other than I wish he would have testified, because the big question remains why. And I'll be honest, once that verdict was read that he was guilty, his parents and his advocates got up and left. They left that child for sentencing.
Oh, let me hear this again.
They weren't there.
All right, stop. So as soon as they said not guilty, the parents just got up and left and walked out. Is that their kid or not, yo? They must be playing in our face, yo. Is that their kid or not? Are these all actors? Like, what's going on here, man? They just got up and left. Left him standing right there. They just got up and just walked out, man. Didn't even come back for sentencing. Left him there for sentencing. He went through, hey, I guess he a man now. Made your bed, you gonna lay in it. They ain't even come back for sentencing. They were done. Because you know why? They already knew it was getting ready to happen. That's hard, man. They left. As soon as they heard the verdict, they was out. Didn't even come back for sentencing, dog.
She came in and read and did 2 question statement and then walked right back out, which was Kayla. And they weren't there for victim impact statements or sentencing. They left that boy by himself to sit there to hear how many years, and then to hear from our side of the family. And they weren't there. They abandoned that child. I actually felt sorry for him at that moment. I could not believe it.
You're on crossing.
They left him. That's crazy, though. That's crazy work.
All included 6 minorities on the jury.
You're right, Dave Mack. 18 jurors, including.
Let me stop right there. Yo, they left him, yo. As soon as they heard the verdict, right? They bounced. They didn't come back for sentencing. He was by himself for the victim impact statements. He was by himself. Parents weren't even there. That's some hard. Maybe in the back of their mind, they just faking it. I guess they say he made his bed, he gonna lay in it. Maybe they feel that way. Like, we tired of this shit. Like, it's over with. Let's go, honey. Because we didn't tell him to go act a whole fool. We tired of faking it. It's crazy.
Alternates, 6 non-white, consisting of 3 Hispanics of Middle Eastern descent and Asian. 1/3 of the Pettit jury pool, 1/3, 33.3% non-white. Okay, that's one fallacy. The other fallacy is about the sentencing. Mr. Metcalf, isn't it true Karmelo Anthony could have been sentenced up to 99 years behind bars, but he got 35?
And eligible for parole after 17 and a half. I mean, he could be out. He could still be out by 40.
And a lot of times in self-defense cases, the conventional wisdom is you're not going to win on self-defense unless you call your client. So I was hoping he would take the stand. I was hoping jurors in our community would get to hear whatever story he chose to tell.
And did Karmelo want to testify in his own on his own behalf, and was
It was based on everything. It didn't need nothing because everything they said when it's self-defense, they have to prove it. They never proved.
That is from our friends at Fox News and the Breakfast Club. The parents, and I get it. Their T-shirt says, "Believe Karmelo." They want desperately to believe their son. I would want to believe my son. I would believe my son, but
There's always a reason for everything. Maybe they believe that if you put your hands on me, I have a right to kill you. Maybe they believe that. Maybe that's their idea of self-defense. If you touch me, I'm gonna take you up out of here. Just for on a touch. Just off a touch, you know. It's crazy. You said, I don't know who is that person? Annie something? Explain why Hunter said to one of them grab KA backpack. Yeah, if he ran off, I would have grabbed his backpack as well. Because he ain't getting out of here and disappearing. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna read. I saw your comment, Ryan. If he reached in his bag and say, "Come over here if you want to," in my mind, he got something in that bag. You know what I'm saying? When you say not in Cali, let me catch up. Hold on, I'm just catching up what y'all saying. Hey, Deb. You said words are one thing, putting your hands on another is different. Yeah, you don't understand the law. You got to learn it, or somebody going to jail if you don't understand it, because you got to learn it, because maybe some people around you don't know it. Let me give you an example. Auntie Leah, let me give you an example. Let's say you walk into your car and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" You can't speak. I said, "How you doing?" You can't speak. I said, "Okay. Well, let me go ahead and reach in my bag and get something real quick, since your ass can't speak." And then you get nervous, and then I don't know, you hit me with the butt of your gun, right? And then after you do that, I knock you cold out. Who's going to jail? You hit me with the butt of your gun. I'm going to jail because I'm the aggressor. I baited you. I'm going to jail. You get it? In certain states, I'm going to jail. Well, we speaking in regards to Texas. I'm going to jail. You like, no, I'm going to jail with you. I hit you with the butt of my gun. No, you were defending yourself. I can't claim self-defense because I sit up there and baited you. And being the aggressor can be with words, not physical. It could be with words. It's just a lot of people don't know that. But we know now. Yeah, they didn't care. That's hard. That's hard, Ryan. You said they didn't care. They just wanted the money. And they could have settled out a long time ago and got this kid 10 years. Oh, that's hardcore. That's hardcore right there. That's a cold piece of work. And then he's sitting up there talking about he'll make another YN or something the dad said. That's a cold piece of work, man.
the son never took the stand, ever. So there was nothing to believe. I want to go back to being in the courtroom. I want to go back to when Austin was killed. You stated, Mr. Metcalf, that you went to the hospital. You had Austin's twin with you, Hunter. How has this affected Hunter?
It's obviously changed him forever. Hunter is the strongest person I know. He has shown me things I'm not even capable of. The other night when he came by, we spoke, and I looked him in the eye and I said, I need to have a chat with you. And I said, when you stepped up on that witness stage to read your victim impact statement, you were a boy. When you stepped down, I saw a man. I've been trying to teach him, and I've been drilling it into his head for years. Learn communication. Learn how to articulate your words, to express yourself and your feelings in a way where people can understand and identify. I said, communication is the key for everything. Your relationships, your wife, your business, your friends, your family. It's all about being able to be understood and effectively communicate that. And when he took that stand, I was really concerned because I knew how he felt about Karmelo. And he followed my testimony, which I myself became very emotional during my victim impact statement. As anybody who was in the courtroom, when I said grief is not sadness, grief is rage, pure, unfiltered rage. And from what people told me, because I really don't recall a lot of it until people told me, but they said I slammed my hand on the table, and I did tell him, look me in the eye, and he never could raise his head the whole time and look me in the eye. But Hunter got up there calm, cool, direct, powerful words, asked that man to look him in the face. Karmelo looked him up for about 4 seconds and lowered his head again, and then proceeded to tell him what he took from him without becoming emotional, without screaming or yelling, just very monotone, very matter of fact. And when he stepped down, I'll be honest, I couldn't be more proud of my son ever, because I told him, I think what I was trying to teach you, you showed me that you have it inside you now. I know you have it. You can do it. And it made me very proud of Hunter, for him to be able to, at 18, after suffering the trauma, which I cannot even start to imagine, that he was able to maintain his composure, express himself articulately, and then walk away. Because I'll be honest, when I'm within 5 feet of the person who killed my son, I'm just glad there were a lot of bailiffs in that courtroom, because it was very, very hard to keep my composure. And I can't imagine an 18-year-old boy who doesn't have 60 years of wisdom like I do, displayed like he did better than me controlling himself. So I tip my hat to Hunter.
You were stating that you took him with you. He was in the car with you when you guys went to the hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
And what you were going through. What was Hunter doing at that time at the hospital?
He was he was totally hysterical when I got to him in the locker room. I had to try to get him under control. I just grabbed him and hugged him and prayed. And I had to get him to at least control his breathing at least a little, just so I could get him under control enough just to get him to my car. in the car, he's still hysterical. We're still praying. I'm driving like a maniac to the hospital. And I didn't want to say it, but Hunter said, "Dad, I saw his eyes roll back in his head. I saw his soul leave his body, and mine went with it." I didn't know how to respond to that. It crushed me. Still does.
When you walked out of the hospital that day and you stepped outdoors from being inside, being told that Austin was dead, what went through your mind? What were you feeling? I mean, there was no place to go, nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing could help, nothing could fix what had happened.
No, but I will say this. The support that showed up at the hospital, there were probably 50, 60 students, parents, family, friends. We had so many rooms full and out in the courtyard. I mean, there were over 100 people there, and that helped. I didn't feel alone, and the support, I could feel God doing his work, and he knew what we needed, and the support system that we have now in place for Hunter, myself, Megan, I can't thank these people enough, and for the outpouring of support from people all across the nation that I don't even know, who send me very, very nice text messages, or even actually call me sometimes and just express to me, they tell me I'm some sort of inspiration, or I'm just a man, and God works through many people in many ways. I'm nothing special, but
not
I do
according
believe
to the majority of the public. You're very special, and you stand for something, which is a burden and a compliment, but it's a burden because everything you do or say is going to be scrutinized, and
Yes.
it will mean something, either good or bad, to the crime victim community, which is millions and millions of people. And I want to share something that you said to me during the trial. I was away. I couldn't get to you. And the jury was deciding on the sentence. And you said, jury is deciding punishment as we speak. I wrote back, what is your hope? I was referring to, what do you think would be a fair sentence? And what you wrote back, I will never forget it, because I was with my twins, as you know. And I wrote, what is your hope? And you wrote back that my son will walk through the door again. So it seems to me this whole time you have not been focused on him going to prison for life or him getting a death penalty. It's not been about that. You just want your son to come back through the door.
Yes, but I know the reality. And it's a hard pill to swallow.
When you wake up, does it sometimes feel like none of this ever happened, and then you realize it really did happen?
Early on, I had that, a little bit of denial, but I will tell you this. After the trial was over, I woke up for the first time without the high level of anxiety and dread and this just dark feeling that just consumed me for so many months, being under the gag order while I just watched the stuff being spread about my son not being able to say a word to anyone. But after the trial, I did wake up with a sense of, I didn't wake up with anxiety and dread and just, I felt like getting out of bed for a change too. I mean, it's been very hard on my mental health, spiritually, mentally, physically. It has drained me tremendously. And, you know, I'm still not back where I need to be. I mean, I'm not for sure. People don't understand. I mean, I know you, Nancy, we've spoken and you understand loss. We've spoken about your personal loss too. And people don't understand what a loss that you lose someone. I went through a grief group for 13 weeks with my church, and I'm the only person in the group who didn't lose a spouse. And everybody said, your loss is so much different than our loss. And I wasn't trying to minimize their loss, but everyone recognized that losing a child is not a natural procession in life. It's not the right order. You should never bury your children. And, you know, I watched one of my grandmothers bury two of her sons, and I saw what it did to her. And I was young at the time, so I wasn't fully capable of understanding the whole concept and realm of grief and death. And, you know, they were my uncles. I loved them. I was still a kid. But, you know, now I look back about what my grandmother went through and now what I have to go through. And for any parent out there who has lost a child, it's a smaller club. Membership dues are high. It's not something you really want to be a member of. I didn't ask for it, but I was given, as my ex-wife put in her victim impact statement, he was given 35 years. We were all given a life sentence.
There it is right there. We're all given a life sentence. I mean, they're never going to get their son back. They got to deal with it for the rest of their life. So it's crazy. You said it's a sundown town. Karmelo never had a chance. For a track meet, he was there running track. Supposed to be running track. He not allowed to be at the track meet to run. What happened to guns down, hands up? I know. That make me want to listen to that old rap song by Heather B. All Glocks Down. All Glocks down.
Yes, he could have got 99 years. The jury chose 35. He's eligible for parole in 17 and a half.
I remember, Mr. Metcalf, after my fiance was murdered, people would say, well, what do you want to happen to the killer? And I remember at the time, I don't feel that way now, but at the time, I would say, I don't care. It doesn't even matter. Keith is dead. It just, none of it matters. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And that same thing happened when I walked by the defendant's table and looked down. All the defense attorneys looked down. They couldn't look at me in the eye. And the defendant looked down, would not look at me in the eye. I mean, I think if it had been me charged, I would be screaming, I didn't do it. I'm sorry what happened, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Nothing. Wouldn't even look up. I've got a question. I've seen this asked many times online, so I'm going to ask you for them. Do you ever feel that Austin is communicating with you? Yes.
Many times. One of the so me, Hunter, and Austin, since they were two, we always went hunting and fishing all the time. And this year, you know, they talk about the first. So July 31st, obviously, is their birthdays. I had to go through that without Austin. And then you have holidays, Thanksgiving, empty chair, Christmas, packages that don't go unopened. And after Christmas, I was out hunting on a new place because we had lost the place that we had for 16 years. They had decided to sell, and we had to move on. And I didn't know if I was ever even going to hunt again, to be honest. Oh, there's some of them. That's a great picture. And I'm sitting there all alone in the woods. And on Facebook, they have, that has this memories that pop up, from past years or whatever. And it popped up, and it was the video of Austin that I did when he shot his first buck. And I did like this little interview with him, and it went back and forth, and I'll tell you this, every deer in that county was safe at that moment because I couldn't see through my scope. I sat there for 2 hours in the middle of the woods and just cried. But the dream I had the day after he was killed, he came to me in his little camo and his little smirky smile. And he always called me Pops. And he said, Pops, I'm okay. And that was it. I woke up and I cried for hours. And just the other night, I was on my back porch, just sitting out there in the swing and just thinking about him. And this cardinal comes and lands on my fence and sits there and looks at me. And I don't know if some people know or some people believe, but cardinals are a sign of people that have passed on and have come back to visit you to let you know.
That recently happened to me too. I was sitting in the park and a cardinal came right in front of me and was just watching me. I was like, wow. He wouldn't move either. I was like, okay, is he getting ready to fly into my head? 'Cause you know how I am with wildlife. I see he getting ready to fly in my head. And then he made some type of noise and went off. Like, man, I ain't gonna fly into your head. Stop. Yeah. I'm right there. But yeah, that's something else, man. Like a parent losing it is crazy. I see, I have a heart. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't, man. They don't care. They don't care, man. They don't care. You said everything isn't race. Right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Karmelo was wrong. Craziness. Yeah, but the thing is, you saying it's modern day lynching, but he killed somebody. So you want him to just walk free for killing somebody? You want him to get a get out of no, I want you to say something because you've been talking. So what you're saying is you want him to walk free from killing somebody, huh? All right. Well, that guy that killed that 14-year-old, let him walk free too then. Excuse me, he already did. So don't worry about him walking free. Because he already walked free, but then nobody should be mad at him either. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be mad at him either. That's crazy to me. Let me see if you're a bot. Hold on one second. You gotta be. Let me see. Let me check my phone. They sending bots in here. Hold on one second. No normal person's thinking like this. Hold on one second. Let me check my account. Let me check. Let me see. 3. No, you're not a bot. You're a real person. Go, let me check it. Yeah, you're not. Let me ask you a question then. So if the roles were reversed, say if it was your son that this situation happened to and your son um got stabbed like this, you okay with that? For the killer to walk free? I'm just asking you. I'm not attacking or anything. Do you think it's okay for the killer to walk free if this happened to your son? Who want to make a quick bet with me that she don't say nothing else? Oh, damn, I would have lost. You say you know how racists are. I went to a white high school. No, I'm just asking you though. If this happened to your child, would you be okay with the killer walking free? And you say you know how racists are. He hung with predominantly black people. The twins did. You ain't know that, did you? Yeah, he did. I don't know no racists that hang with predominantly black people. I don't know not one. You know, they were known football players. You know, they hung out with fellow athletes. They had a real mixed group of friends, actually. Actually, they had a real mixed group of friends. Excuse me. I'm asking you a question real quick. If this happened to your child, will you be okay with the killer walking away in this situation? And you're not answering the question. I'm waiting for you. You said my son would have beat his ass and white kids call for him and word. Okay, no. What happened? Okay, what happens if he wouldn't have beat his ass? No, let's say if it's the same situation. That's what I'm asking you. We can't move the goalpost. Let's say if it's the same situation. No, 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 no. I'm not. If it's the same situation, right? If it's the same situation and the kid stabbed your kid in the heart, are you okay with that? That kid not getting that not getting off with murder, and your child wasn't the aggressor. That's what I'm asking you. If it was the same situation, that's what I'm asking you. Are you okay with with your child murderer walking free? If it's the same situation, all the situation adds up. I don't want to hear that. Well, my child not this. No. If it was the same situation, would you be okay? No, you got to go. Somebody sent you. You got to go. Yeah, you're not. Y'all not. Listen, I'm older than you anyway. There's no way in God's green earth somebody didn't send you to sit up in here and antagonize us. Okay, go to another channel. I just asked you a question. If it's the same way, would you be okay with? No, you will not be okay. No, you will not. No, you will not. So don't come here no more. Don't come in my chat. You go to the other people chat. Go to the other people chat. Let me tell you something. Let me just say this, man. I don't care what you say. This kid, it looks like if I'll bet you right now, I will bet you any amount of money he's not coming home. I'll bet you any amount of money that he gonna do all that time. I'll bet you any amount of money. You guys lack compassion. You guys really like compassion. We have demons walking around. We have demons walking around. I said again, if it was your child, would you be okay with it? I don't care. Just because your child touched somebody don't mean it's a death sentence. What is wrong with these people, Deb? What's wrong with these people? I still have fun with it though. If you don't know, I have fun with this. Because I said, wait a minute, now I gotta talk to this person now. I gotta talk to this person. Um, you said he won't do 35. I don't believe that God because God knows he would do time through. You just said he gonna do 35. You said he gonna do time through. That means he's gonna do the whole 35. You see, that's the universe putting it back on you. No, he gonna do the whole sentence. Not the whole sentence, excuse me. He got 35, right? He gonna do about 25. Excuse me, I didn't mean the whole sentence. He gonna do about 25. He's not gonna get out the first time. He's not gonna get out the second time. Now, the only way he's gonna get out, like you say, there's such a video that everybody's talking about. But everybody's starting to get deleted around here. I don't want to hear about no more video. Y'all ain't see no video. You know why y'all didn't see no video? They're not gonna let the public see videos before the trial starts because they're not gonna let people see evidence. Just hey, you want to come see the evidence? Who want to come see the evidence? Come see the evidence real quick. They're not doing that. Yeah, most people are inherently evil, man. It happened after 2020. It did. It happened. Some people don't even know it. Some people don't even know it. Some people don't even tear up when their own kids die. They don't care. Just like his parents, they walked right out of that courtroom and went home. They didn't even come back for sentencing. And these people in here think it's okay. They didn't even come back and support him. And you know, the thing is, I'm starting to believe what some of these lawyers are saying. They should have copped a plea out a year ago, but they sat there. They didn't want to give up that money. This ain't nothing that you take the trial like this. He was in the wrong. You cop out. He would have got 8. That's what they're saying. Everybody's saying they would have gave him 8. They would have showed him favor. They gave him 8. He'd been out in 4.5. It's crazy. The only thing I simply said was, if this was your child, you'd be okay with that? You'll be okay with God helping the killer? You'll be okay with that? No, you will not. No, you won't. You won't be okay with it. You might. I don't know. Some people don't give a damn about their kids. You might be okay with it. You said it's very easy to judge when it's not your child. Yeah, man, that kid was in the wrong though. He was in the wrong. Because I could show you the next video of the dude with the Spurs jersey on. Abraham, did you see that video with the dude with the Spurs jersey on kicking ass out there in New York? Because everybody was trying to jump on him. That's how you do it. And he was fast with it too. That's why everybody had to get out of the way because he was moving so swiftly. Man, he was getting his licks in. That's how you do it because they sitting up there giving you your licks. He could have easily pulled out something and did something to people. That might have been justified because he had a whole crowd after him. That might have been justified. You saw that Deb, he was going to town. He was going to town. He had the Spurs jersey on. And then the very next day, he put the Spurs jersey back on and started walking the streets of New York, seeing if something was going to happen to him. He was tearing people up and he was by himself. And look, he was beating people up while he had his cell phone in his hand. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I never seen nothing like it. No, it's not. Well, maybe it could have been his parents and them advice not to take the plea. It might not have been his lawyer. His lawyer probably said we need to take the plea, but it's his right to go to trial. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, so I can't because we haven't confirmed this. But I heard they didn't want to take no plea. They want to keep going. All that money gone, It's all of it gone. Now I know a lot of people saying that where they had to rent a house. You don't have to rent a house that big. Am I still in reality? Let me touch my leg. Am I still in reality? Or am I in make believe? They don't have to rent a house that damn big. What is going on here? They don't have to rent a house that damn big. What's wrong with renting an apartment for 2,500? Oh man, let me continue, man.
And there's little things that happen that he lets me know he's still here. And when I went out to his grave the other day, I actually just laid down on the ground and held him. And he hugged me back. I know where he's at. Austin, so competitive. I told him, look, son, you beat me again. You beat me there, but I'm coming. I don't know when, but I'll see you again. And we'll sit down and you can tell me why. And I'll ask God why. But until then, I really won't have any understanding. I just have to lean into God's plan and his understanding and trust. I just trust God. And he's the only reason I'm still here. I'm glad both my boys knew Christ and what Jesus Christ was their savior. So I mean, I don't have any doubt whatsoever that Austin is in heaven, and I'm sure, and I pray that I live my life in a Christian way enough to get my name put in the book too, so I can see my son again, which I totally believe.
Mr. Metcalf, I was just about to ask you, what is your message tonight? But I believe that you just told me. I want you to know that prayers are lifted up for you and for Hunter, for Austin.
And Megan.
All day, every day.
Megan also. His mother.
And Megan.
Yes.
And Megan.
Well, people talk about, my boys come from a broken home. I'm sorry. Megan's a great mom. I'm a good dad. We raised those boys. I mean, they live an hour away. I mean, we're minutes apart. And I showed up. I mean, I got tons of pictures from day one since they were born. I was never an absent father. I never once laid a hand on any woman in my entire life. I mean, the stuff that's out there that, that Austin broke me and whooped my ass and stuff. Dude, that was a jiu-jitsu injury from years ago that I finally had to get my shoulder replaced after I did shoulder rotor cuff surgery the year before. So that incident they talk about was years ago, and we were just training. It happens. I mean, I put myself in the wrong position. And
Mr. Metcalf, let me just stop you right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Please. If you spend your days trying to correct all the lies that have been said about you, you won't have time to live.
No.
Yeah, he won't. It'll cut his life short. Definitely cut his life short. Because and the thing is, it's happening to me here when the people come in my chat. You just can't reason with people. So my question to people, what if this happened to your son? You'd be okay with it? And your son, well, my son wouldn't be a bully, but let's say if your son was. Dude, is that should that sign his death sentence? No. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't sign his death sentence. So at the end of the day, man, we have to, if there's no video out there, people can say, oh, there's a video. No, it's not, because the guy that was the main guy that was saying it, he said that, well, he had something sharp in his bag for his cleats. No, he really had a knife. He had a knife. He had a knife. But you saying it was something sharp, a sharp instrument for his cleats. No, he did not have nothing for his cleats. So if you lie about something that small, you lied about something else. He could be out, Tariq. He could be ready to go. This could have did it for him. Now, Nancy Grace in this situation, if nobody knows this, years ago when she was in college, she lost her fiance. Somebody just killed her fiance one day for no reason, just killed him. And it affected her. And ever since that time, she went and became a lawyer, almost undefeated. I believe she was undefeated. I believe when she became first started becoming a lawyer, she ain't lose a case. I don't think she did. She was that aggressive prosecuting people. And that motivated her to become a prosecutor. The death of her fiance. She wasn't going to become a lawyer before that. She was going to do something else. But after he died, she became an attorney. That like inspired her. Like it affected her that much. Yeah, prosecutor. She's undefeated. She was undefeated. Yeah, she cold. Because of that thing happened. When somebody died close to you, sometime it'll affect you. Sometime it'll affect you in a positive way or a bad way. But grief will take you out of here before anything else. What's the number one cause of death? Grief. They'll take you out of here very, very quickly. And I don't know how he gonna process it because he still hasn't processed it. It hit him, but like hopefully within a few years he'll be able to be okay and he can survive it. But and the crazy part about it is when you see the surviving twin, you're really seeing the one that passed because they look just alike. So that's how the other one looked, how he looked, because they look the same. It's crazy. I think she while they were on a date or she had just left him and he died. And she said, you know what? I'm getting ready to do something about this crime. And she went and became a prosecutor. She was undefeated. And then she went on into other stuff and then she became a talk show host. She was cold though. She was. She wasn't playing no games. You said, and it's going to kill him more. That's what I'm saying. If he don't come to terms with this, it can eat him up. It eats you up from the inside out. That's how it gets you. But we don't know how everybody handle grief differently. Everybody handles it differently. And you can't tell them how to get over grief. Because I can't tell them how I got over mine. Because once the funeral is over and everybody leave, now you alone with your own thoughts. Once everybody go away, once all the phone calls stop, people come check on you. After that's done, you still by yourself with your own thoughts. That's when it gets hard. It's a bad situation all the way around for both families. They lost their son because they gone for 35 years or 25. His life is forever changed. I'm sure they had high expectations for him because he's a good student. They thought he was going to go on and do great things in life. I'm sure they was counting on that. So they could potentially 25 years a long time. I know people say 17 and a half. He's not getting out the first time. They're not letting him out. He ain't gonna make parole for a while. I would say on average 20, 25 years, he'll get out. There's a lot can happen in 20 years. A lot can happen in 20 years. You said, Trust, there's many programs that will help him with conflict resolution. He needs it. I think they should teach that in high schools. They don't teach it no more. They don't teach social studies no more. They took that out of the schools. And what was the other one? They took out social studies and they took out oh my God, social studies. I think that's what it is. They took it away. So, a lot of young people know conflict resolution. It's not just, but the ones that don't know it, they need to learn it. But some already know it. It just depends on your upbringing, really. It just sometimes that has something to do with it. Um, they just see how you act. But and then again, you can have somebody that is totally off the beaten path. But yeah, civics or some home ec and civics. Yeah, they don't have that no more. Where you learn how to. You remember they used to make us talk to each other. You ever had that? Um, you know what else we had? I'm just thinking about this when I was back in this happened when I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, and it happened when I was like a junior in high school. We used to go around to different schools like in the suburbs and hang out with them for the day. So we can get to know each other. Like we can get to know each other's differences. And I'm glad they did that. Even though the school I went to was a mixed school. It was like the United Nations. But I guess they want us to intermingle with like the people from like Deal, New Jersey, out there and Neptune and out there near the water. They want us to deal with those type of kids. Um, but we all became really close, so I guess it worked. And we weren't even tripping off of what they look like. We weren't tripping off that. We just want to know if they cool, and we were just sitting there. We all share stuff in common. At the end of the day, man, it's some people just trying to divide people. Don't let them. Don't let them do it. Don't let them have you thinking that everybody the same way. You know, you never know where your blessing is gonna come. I don't care what people look like. Your blessing could come from somebody that look opposite of you on a different demographic than you. That's where your blessing might come from. And but if you're going around like knocking everybody for their color, you might lose your blessing. This is a story the NFL is going to love. They're going to take his other son to the NFL. Oh yeah. If his son makes it, they're going to love this story. That's a big kid though. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of see his shoulders. They do got some size to him. They do got some size to him, man. You're right about that, especially if he go on to make it. And you know what the thing is? He might because he said that he used to play with his brother. His brother was better. But guess what? His brother with him now. So um so he might make it. He gonna make it. Yeah, he's gonna make it. His brother's gonna be with him. He's gonna make it. He's like Ray Lewis size, damn near. That's I ain't he's it's big kids, man. They are. I can see it in his shoulders. Yeah, he is gonna make it. I wonder what college he going to. Do you know? And he got that name too, Metcalf. Remember that? Remember Metcalf, football player? It ain't no relation to the Metcalfs in the NFL, but oh, the Watts kids that made the NFL, yeah. Yeah, he is gonna make it. We're gonna hear about him again. With this year's pick in the NFL draft, um, the Texans, their draft pick is in. Do 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 do. You know how the NFL do with that like that noise. All right, the Houston Texans with their pick in the 2000 whatever NFL draft, they gonna say his name. That'll be crazy. That'll be crazy, man. Yeah, that'll be crazy. Only problem is, is he gonna be okay? Because they said when this happened, they had to sedate him. So hopefully he'll be okay with it and just say that know that his brother's with him and go ahead and go ball, yo. Go ball at this point. Yeah, we'll hear from him again. That'll be crazy. That'll be crazy. Yeah. The Mike and Marquise Pouncey, the Pouncey twins. One played for the Miami Dolphins and the other played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're identical twins. Marquise was drafted first. He came out first from college. Mike came a year later. He stayed at Florida a year later. But Marquise had got drafted and he went and got drafted to the Steelers. Then Mike got drafted later. Damn, you said with the third. Damn, you said with the third pick. That means his brother's with him. That's what that means. Um, yeah, so yeah, the Pouncey twins. And they both retired together. Yep. Those Aaron Hernandez boys. Man, I know a woman, not gonna say her son name, but he's at the University of Florida. He's 2 years away from the draft. I already know he's getting drafted because he's starting already. I already know he's getting drafted. He's an offensive lineman. And I'm not gonna say his name. Did you know when he was little, they used to sleep in the car? And he remembers that. He didn't forget it. And that's what he takes it out on his opponent. He said, I'm about to retire this woman. He said that. I never forget he said it. He said, I'm getting ready to retire her. Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm giving it away because he was an All-American. I'm giving it away. But yeah. And some people are driven by that, man. It either make or break you. Sometimes things and adversity in your life will make or break you. Or then sometime you will have family members on the other side that's watching you. They become angels of yours. And then when you pass on, then they'll get ready to go on the other side. They'll leave then. Some people don't cross over. They'll wait for you and they'll help you out throughout your life. That's what somebody told me. Everybody don't cross over at first. They want to stay and help. And then they'll cross over after you're done. They'll cross over then. That's what I heard. You know, the crazy thing is, I didn't know that this worked. If you set up like an altar, like your people, whatever they like, their favorite stuff, and light a candle and just toast something up to them, something happens to you. It's like they're around at that point. It's like you summons them up or something. I didn't know all of that. Like, or you can just straight talk to them. And if they not big, I said if they ain't busy doing something else, they'll roll by. Or you can ask them for help. You can ask them for help too. That's what I heard. Yep. But anyway, yeah, it's a rough case, man. It's rough. It's rough for both families. It's rough, man. They didn't tell their son to go do that, man. And look, they've been dragged in and people to running them in the ground. It's just crazy. They're not gonna see their son for a very long time. So mm, it's crazy.
No,
And you
you're
have
correct. You're correct.
a very, very special boy that is watching you right now by the name of Hunter Metcalf. And he's looking to his father and his mother for the example you are giving him about how to live his life. So forget about all the lies. I know they hurt. I know they're irritating, but you don't have time.
No.
You don't have time to look back. You
Well,
don't
I
have
don't-
time to look to either side.
I
You
don't
better
need to-
keep running, man.
I don't need to defend myself to anyone.
No,
I
you
am.
don't. So please
I am
don't.
who I am. I stand by what I say. I stand by what I do. And I'll share this right now. Hunter is not even comfortable with me doing interviews, and I understand his point of view, but I had to explain to him. I've spoken with my counselor. For me to speak about Austin is part of my therapy and healing process. That's the way I will process the grief. Hunter processes it differently. Megan processes it differently. There is no playbook. There is no right or wrong. There is no timeline. Grief is something that each individual has to experience and go through all the stages. And how they do that is totally independent upon them. So,
yeah, I just said that earlier. You can't show somebody how to get through it. They got to do it themselves. Everybody handle grief differently. I don't know how I got through mine, and I can just say this how I got through mine, but that's not going to help you because you're not me. You might get through it rather easily. I might think you're getting through it easily, but it wasn't for you. You just took things in stride. Like, some people don't sweat really. Like, they just seem real cool about it, but they really processing stuff internally. It's just however you get through it, man. Yep. However you get through it, you get through it. And I can't judge on how people get through their adversities. I can't judge nobody, man. But at the same time, it's the same thing with the other side of the family. They got a kid they ain't gonna never see for a while. They always got to go inside the jail to go see him, or they have video call. But man, yeah,
it's a double-edged sword for me to come on and do interviews sometimes, because I know Hunter doesn't like it, but I have to do it for me, and I need to carry Austin's name on forever. Because there's been people that have taken advantage of me during this time. And it's terrible that some of the things that have.
What do you mean took advantage of you? How?
I mean, I can call out people by name. I'm not for sure if I should or not, but I mean, there were people that
Don't use names. But what happened?
Well, I'd love to use names actually, but because what they did was they stole from me, and I couldn't believe someone would take advantage of a grieving father the way some people have. And
I don't understand. Stole what? What happened?
Well, I'm trying to make this as painless as possible, because I'm trying to allow this person to correct the mistake they made. But we were going to do something in honor of Austin. I won't go into great detail, but we invested in something, and basically it was fraudulent. These people, they were telling me one thing and doing another, and it's
So they took money from a murder victim's family.
yes.
Well, that's a whole nother show, which I'm happy to do.
yeah, that's a whole nother show. That's like going down. That's going down another storyline. But yeah, just going down another storyline. But like I said, for people that feel like there's something else out there, you have to produce that video at some point for this to work. Because right now, I'm like thinking, nah, man, that's it. Um, well, let me do this real quick. Let me just, yeah. Um, Let me see what we got. Yeah, it's crazy. You said negative spirits also cling to those who don't express it. Yeah, they come around. Even when you go against what everybody else going against. I don't care what people saying here. They ain't got no. I mean, they ain't sitting there. You keep talking about video. I can sit up and make up a video too. Yeah, there's a video. There's this and there's that. I can do that from here to Tuesday and dice it up. But nah, man. We staying with the details of this case, man. It was wrong. That's all it was. It was wrong, and he just got to pay for it. You know the old saying: you make your bed, you're gonna lay in it. He gonna lay in it. He gonna lay in that cell where he can stretch his arms and be on from one end to the other. He got a deep disdain for the parents, and he is hella grieving. He's grieving still. There was a story going around on social media, but I don't think the story was true. But it sounded good though. This person had found out that these gang members had killed his mother. He went and killed all 13 of them in the same day. That was a good story. That sounded good. I don't know. It was like folklore. I don't think that really happened. But if it did, we need to hit Trump up to pardon him. Somebody said, "Look, did Trump pardon him yet?" It was hilarious. You said cell equals concrete tomb. Yeah, the tombs lives buried alive. Mm, concrete tomb. That's crazy, man. It's just like it's a guy. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna give y'all the link to his page. You can tell him, hey man, Max sent you. I'm gonna find it for y'all right now. It's this dude that's locked up. He's locked up, right? And he be in his cell just talking. And he was, let me see. What is this? Um, he was just talking about like telling like, yeah, this person got 200 years. This person, and he said, y'all like to go out here and slide, right? He said, well, you gonna come up in here and you gonna see us. He said, that's what y'all like doing. Y'all like to go out there and start trouble. He said, my boy got 200 years right here. He said, between all of us, we got 475 years to do. He said, that's what y'all like to do. Like to do. Let me find that. I'm gonna give y'all the link. Here he is. I found him, and he has a IG page. Here, I'm giving y'all the link now. And he vlogs from his cell. You know, he got like, you know, word of the day. He's Muslim now. All right, there's his link. I just sent it to y'all. He found religion, and he just trying to help young people out. And this guy's never going to see the light of day again. Yeah, y'all got to go somewhere else with these. Y'all got to go somewhere else. Not here. This ain't the spot for y'all. Because we don't agree with somebody taking somebody's life for no reason, man. That person that have a weapon, he had his hands, and people okay with that. You can't stay here. I got a clean house. Y'all can't stay here, man. Okay, you can't stay here, man. That's all. You could listen. No, you could stay. You could stay. My bad. You just gotta listen from the background. Okay. But y'all, just listen from the background. That's all. Okay, listen from the background. Listen from the background. That's it. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, what is this? You got a lot of files. Each brand is limited to a. Oh, okay. Um, Que más de nada. Wait, what is going on here? Ooh, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, man. So yeah, y'all just I can't get with that, man. Can't get with it. Can't get with it, guys. In the spirit of FIFA, y'all know what team I like, man. I like Brazil. This is in the spirit of FIFA. That's in the spirit of FIFA, man. Um, FIFA's in full swing, and it's like a good distraction, man, because I can follow the Samba boys, man. Even though I don't like that they didn't play Enrique yet. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully they play him. But yeah, that's me. I'm Brazil all the way. But they need to put Enrique in, and then we'll be okay. He's the next superstar for Brazil. 19 years old. Please put the kid in. Please. Please put him in, Brazil. But yeah, man. But shout out to the dad, man. Um, he did, a lot of people don't like him. Especially he was talking slick a little bit. I get it. But I don't agree with it. But everybody is showing their pain differently. That's the only thing I could say. Yeah, that was all. It's crazy how like you can make these pictures. I know, but they weren't playing. You know who played really well? Germany. We know Germany is called the machine. I think they beat that team 7-1. I'm thinking that's what Brazil was gonna do, but like, I don't know, man. They need to put Enrique in. The kid. They need to put him in. They're gonna put him in the next game though. Because if he was out there, Neymar Jr. was out there, and Vinny Jr., yeah, they would have been going. They would have been going. So, but Neymar was injured. Yeah, the U.S. game was wild. It was. But yeah, Germany looking crazy though. They always look like that though. Early on, we call them the machine. They play like a machine. It's like the tradition. Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. They great on Sunday. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I was a goalie for like. I wish I should have kept doing it. I was only for one summer. I enjoyed it though. I was the keeper. But it's really the teams are really good this year. Like it's all the games are exciting. You know what it was? They asked me to be goalie. I just happened to be watching them play, and the coach said, "Do you want to play?" You want? I'm like, I don't know how to play. He said, "Well, you could be a goalie," and I was doing pretty good at it. You know, I picked up to it really fast. Yeah, Iran plays. For when do they play? Tomorrow? Because the deal has been made now, so they straight. They're not going to get banned anymore. They straight now, so they can just play without worrying about nothing now. They won't. There won't be no travel restrictions on them no more. Especially they're freeing up what $50 billion. Yeah, they straight now. So Superfly, what's going on with you? But yeah, Brazil. Somebody was like, "These are not the favela players of the past." I was like, "Wow." He said these players are suburb kids. I was like, "No, you got some favela people on the team." Because all the great ones from Brazil, they were found in the favelas, especially Ronaldo. He was because Pele like found all of them and told them to just go play and whatnot. And it was Pele. Then you have actually Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, Hulk. Um, they have all these colorful names in the past. Socrates. You had Hulk, Socrates. Yeah, man, Brazil is exciting. I like it. You said LOL until Trump changes his mind. Like I hope they got a deal. But he's okay. He's sitting up there with that USC event he just had for his birthday. He fell asleep on that. He sure did. You said the watermelon felon. You like that? I might make up a graphic to be funny. No, I can't do that. That'll offend a lot of people. I don't do that. You said don't you do it? What do you think I was about? I was thinking Chantel because you just said it. Don't you do it? And I was just saying I just stopped myself. I was like, no, I ain't doing that. It's almost like I don't know if you just read my mind because I'm like, wait, should I? Like, nah, I'm not doing that with the watermelon fella. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not making. I know what you said. I'm not making no graphic that say that because that's Charleston White status. I'm not trying to go full nuclear here and go Charleston White status. I'm not doing that. Now, like I said, guys, like I said, I don't. Both families is messed up here. So You said Pele, Ronaldo, Romario, Hulk, Dunga, Kaká, Ronaldinho, Bebeto, and Tafarel. Yeah, that's like the Mount Rushmore. And now you have to add one name. You missed one, Prince. You missed one. You know which one you missed. He has to be added to the list now. Neymar. Neymar. Yeah, Chantel, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I am not doing that. Because like I said, yeah, Neymar Jr. Yeah, I'm not doing it. And then you gotta add another one. Benny Jr. And another one. Fred Enrique. Enrique is Enrique. They all gonna be added to the list. They all gonna be they look like they all can play. Yeah, Benny Jr. He was the one that tied it up for them. You got a lot of good players in the tournament this year too. The kid from Spain, Lemony Yamal, he's nice. Um, what's the player from? I want to say Croatia. I can't. Not Croatia. I can't remember the country. But Spain is nice. Portugal is nice. Um, Germany is like the machine. You said people had the intelligence of a watermelon. Not even that. That's too big. You know, no intelligence. They ain't got nothing. You said official thinking no longer exists, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's weird. Yeah, they always a strong team, man. It's like they a machine, man. You said never underestimate the Dutch. They're in it this year. But yeah, Trump had the UFC event for his 80th birthday. He fell asleep. He sure did. He must not get much sleep. Was Cuba able to get in the FIFA? They haven't, and they haven't though. You see, Cuba. You know what Cuba are good for? Boxing and baseball, pitching. They produce a lot of athletes that way, and so boxing, um, baseball, somewhat Greco-Roman wrestling every now and then. And what's the other team? France. They're gonna be good too. They got what's his name? Arguably, probably the fastest person on the pitch. Yeah, arguably the fastest person on the pitch. It's going to be very, very exciting going forward. Yeah, Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, so they have it's straight deadly. Yeah, it's gonna be real good. And Haiti is in it, Antoine. Wait, I didn't see. I missed the game. What did Haiti do? I missed that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the highlights. They back in it for the first time in a long time. Yeah, I definitely missed that one. That game. They lost to Scotland 1-0. The game was in Boston. That's right. It was in Boston. It's at Foxborough Stadium. Bro, when Brazil got scored on, I said, "What is going on, man?" And then I look on the bench, Neymar in street clothes. He's hurt. I'm like, damn. What else? I gotta look at the brackets. Portugal play yet? 'Cause I got them as a favorite too. They could make something happen. And I see Messi's on the team. It's his last World Cup for sure. Messi, Lionel Messi. You said soccer is all about your team, psychic abilities. But anyway, guys, let me get out of here. Maybe I'll do a World Cup watch party or something. You said Haiti plays Morocco and Philadelphia next. Don't like the fact that we have to play our cousins. Can't wait to watch Senegal versus France. That's gonna be a good one. Then we get to see Mbappe. It's not good, man. Mbappe is fast, man. You said Haiti face Scotland and Morocco next. Haiti still can get in. They just gotta you see these pictures, Antoine. If you get me one, I could put you one. I can make you one with the let me see, where is the picture? I can make you one with the Haiti colors. See what I'm saying? And they got the World Cup stuff in the background. Ooh, wow, wow, wow. That's the jail where he's supposed to be at. Craziness. You said Senegal beat France in 2002 in the opening match. That's when what's his name was on the team, Senegal. Who played for Senegal at the time? Wasn't Bakary Sagna. I believe he played for France, Bakary Sagna. Oh, yeah, he played for Senegal. Bakary Sagna. And then you had what did Samuel Eto'o play? Yeah, send me a picture, Antoine. I'll make you one. Yeah, send it to me like whenever you get a chance. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Probably. Look, it's already 12 something, but I keep saying I want to get into that Guthrie situation because he's still talking about it, but maybe tomorrow. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you soon. Enjoy the World Cup if y'all watching it. All right, guys.